Hello, friends. Welcome to the Turfway Park Racing Review, part of the Auxiliary Gate Network. I'm CC Broaddus, and I'm joined by my friends Geoff Riggs on one side. Hello, Geoff.
What's going on, CC? Good to be back.
Yes, sir. Glad you could join us again. And below me is Trey Server, who owes me a milkshake.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry about that, guys. The 9-horse got us at the wire.
That's all right. Many of you may ask, what's the purpose of this show? We just want to help our handicapping friends, maybe fans of Turfway Park or horse racing or whatnot. Hopefully we can point you toward a winner somewhere down the road, and basically just having fun with this. What we want to point out, though, are great performers, bad trips, horses to watch in the future. That's kind of the purpose of what we're doing here. Hopefully we'll find a few of those over this past week. We want to talk first about the Jockey of the Week. And it was a close call, but Albin Jimenez has been elected our Jockey of the Week with 4 wins. Luis Saez actually made it close. He won 3 races on Saturday. Probably won't be back until the spring when the Spiral Stakes, or excuse me, the Jeff Ruby Stakes rolls around. And but Albin Jimenez with 4 wins is our Jockey of the Week. And our Trainer of the Week, Mike Maker, who's been in a kind of a lull as of late, not winning at his standards. He's still winning at a high rate, but he won 4 races over this past week, and he won 2 stakes races on Saturday. So congratulations to Mike Maker on a big win. I'm sure he's quite the chatterbox, guys. Sure you couldn't get him to shut up about all the wins he reeled off over the week. All right, so let's get started here. We want to talk about our first race, and this was on Wednesday night, and it's a filly by the name of Milady Sansa. So let's rack the video here, and we'll get started. Milady Sansa broke from the rail, and this is Wednesday race number 5. Filly trained by Richard Estevanco, probably not a household name to maybe a lot of people that play the Kentucky circuit, but Estevanco is a veteran trainer. And this filly is by Spun to Run, who won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile a few years ago, beat Omaha Beach. I thought this was a nice effort breaking from the rail. She's going to get 3rd in here, barely at the wire. But she's nice. It's hard to break from the rail when you're a first-time starter, and that's exactly what she does here. And she's under a hand ride as they go around the early leader. Looks like maybe she slips away here, but she gets a little tired late. And now Milady Sansa is going to tip off the fence and try to run her down. But she's got a Brad Cox filly, a Brad Cox Godolphin production to her outside. Milady Sansa switches leads right here at the 8th pole, and she's going to get passed by the Godolphin filly on the outside. Now, why did we pick Milady Sansa? Well, the main reason is she won this versus Open Maiden Special Weight Company, but she's eligible for maiden auction. She was only purchased for $22,000 at auction, and now she could drop in class if they so choose. They may try to keep her in maiden special weight to pick up that extra maiden purse. But, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Milady Sansa on the drop to that maiden auction and face a whole lot lesser than what she faced in this spot. And I think if she does, she's a shoe-in next time out. All right. That's enough for Milady Sansa. Let's take a quick break. We're going to hear a message from our friends at twinspires.com. We'll be right back.
When it comes to horse racing, you can never have too much information. With TwinSpires, you can place your bets with confidence, whether you use handicapping insights like our Brisnet speed ratings, prime power and past performances, the guidance of our experts' top picks, or just choose a name that catches your eye. Yes! No matter how you pick your horse, bet with TwinSpires. And now you can race to victory with TwinSpires tournaments.
Welcome back to the Turfway Park replay review. Let's continue on with Wednesday evening. Wednesday evening race number 8, Vino's Angel. And Geoff Riggs likes Vino's Angel's trip. Well, actually, he doesn't like Vino's Angel's trip. Let's take a look at it here, Geoff.
Yeah, this was a nice allowance optional claim for CC. You're looking at the 2-horse here. This one drew my attention because it was Caitlin Free's top pick in the race. Stumbled just a little bit at the break and then gets squeezed here early on. Just is in traffic the whole way, not comfortable at all. You can tell that she's just not liking being involved with all those horses on every side of her. Tries to get a little keen here. Still uncomfortable up in traffic on heels, just all the way into the turn. She's just not very comfortable. She's there in about what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the middle there right now. Still having to pull up here going into the turn. Gets pushed out a little bit by that horse on the inside. So we're now 3, 4 wide coming from the 2-hole going into the turn. Now finally gets out of traffic here, which is nice, but now we're having to go wide into the backstretch and stays 4, 5 wide the whole way basically.
Geoff, I think the outside is kind of where you want to be down the stretch. I don't think you want to be in the 6 path all the way around the turn, though.
That is the thing. Yeah, so we're into the stretch now, and wide is not an issue here, but it was all the ground lost going into this was the issue. And I just like how she levels off and finishes here with a nightmare trip early, 6 wide literally the whole way, and still tries hard to the wire. And the other point on this one, CC, is I know last week we tried to pick out one that the chart missed the trouble and went back and looked and they had updated it. But I looked right before we got on air here tonight, CC, and still nothing at all about trouble on that trip. Nothing about a wide trip, nothing. So all it reads is off rail, backstretch, raced along evenly with no response. And I think that is verifiably not what happened in that race, what we just watched.
Let's go to Thursday now, race number 5. And this is a filly named Less is Best.
Ready for the 2-year-old fillies. And there they go. Pretty good start for all.
Less is Best is a daughter of Catholic boy. And you're going to see her break from the 12-hole here. She kind of misses the break just a hair. She's about 2 lengths off the lead here, and then she's going to get stuck wide into that first turn. Not an ideal position. And now she's having to check off of heels going into that first turn. This filly, she's making her 3rd start here. So, I mean, obviously she should be fit for this. It's been a bit of a break since her last race at Kentucky Downs. But this filly, I was surprised when I looked up her pedigree. She is a half-sister to Stephanie's Kitten, who was a grade 1 winner for the Ramseys back in the day. And, this mother has produced several foals. I think there was another nice winner in that family tree, but this filly looks like she's got some future. You're going to see Cedillo pull the trigger here, and I am not criticizing his ride. He pulls the trigger here, and I think he believes he's got to go. And, man, she takes off. And there is no way I believe he expected this. And she just rolls right by everybody. Here she comes off the turn. Now she's got a 1.5 length lead coming off the turn. And the race looks to be over. And suddenly she hits the wall here. And I don't know if she gets tired. Maybe she's not focused. She shifts in, and then she shifts out. and she's going to eventually get disqualified here as she impedes the 11 here. And now she's done, and she's going to finish second here as Admit along the inside for Tommy Drury. Comes up and gets the win, but she does hold on for second, eventually gets disqualified the third. That was a nice effort from this filly. Less is best for Eric Foster. I think we're going to see good things from her going forward.
I think so too, and I think you're right that might be more of a focus issue there than being totally done, because she did hold on pretty well for second there. She could have easily been fourth or fifth in that race.
Right.
She was totally done.
Right.
And our Irving Moncado is a kicking butt so far too.
Yeah. What about him? 7-pound apprentice, former guest of the Auxiliary Gate podcast, of course. And yeah, he's riding really well for and he's getting a lot of mounts too. So I think he's going to rack up a lot of wins going forward here. All right, let's go to Friday night. Friday night, we're just going to show the stretch drive of this, but we want to give a shout out and congratulations to Jerry Dixon Jr., the trainer of the 9-horse on the lead here, Moonstrike. And this is Jerry Dixon Jr.'s first win in Kentucky, and I think second win overall as a trainer. And who is Jerry Dixon Jr.? Well, he was the former groom of Kentucky Derby winner Rich Strike, and he struck out on his own. Congratulations to Mr. Jerry Dixon Jr. with his training job here of Moonstrike in the third race on Friday. Now, Saturday was the big day, 4 $250,000 stakes races, and we're going to just glance at a few of these races.
All right, so Dana's Beauty, speaking of former podcast guests, John Stewart of Resolute Racing was on, and they own this one, Dana's Beauty. I just thought that Luis Saez did a masterful job on this one. I mean, she's a really nice mare, 5-time winner this year now, 11-time winner overall. But the way that Luis gets horses out of the gate, uses just enough to get the lead, and then backs down that pace. You can see his 25 flat opening quarter, I think, was the key to the race here, because she is just doing things all on her own. Could not be any more comfortable at this point. Just loping along on the lead, really. 49 flat to the half, as you can see. And when he asks her to go at the top of the lane, she really finds another gear and kicks on, which was a really exciting run to watch down the lane. You can see already here, he's not asking her yet, but she just, she's running on a little bit. She knows what time it is. She's a seasoned veteran at this point. Is Take a Stand's trying to make a little bit of a run, but already under a vigorous drive. All the other ones behind, you can tell, are just pumping, and Louis just sitting chilly up top. And as soon as they go into the stretch here, he asks her just for a little bit, and she really responds and kicks on. And I was most impressed probably by the final 150 yards of this race, how she just pours it on here. It looked like she was going to win, but look at how she just runs away from this group late. I thought it was just a very impressive effort, guys.
Good effort there by Everland too.
I agree with that.
Yeah, she was a little bit out of form, and hangs on there for second, so that bodes well for her going forward as well. Let's go on now to the sprint race, the 6-furlong Holiday Inaugural. And Trey, you want to pick this one up?
Sure.
And there they go in the 38th running of the Holiday Inaugural Stakes. BG Warrior, Awesome Treat, Miss Arlington gun for the lead. Beauty of the Sea is forwardly positioned. So too is Bling and Uppercase. Nice as Pie comes away running about 6 lengths up.
All right, so Awesome Treat gets a beautiful trip here under Sophie Doyle. Ends up blowing up the tote board at 37-1. And this is the race with Miss Moon Pie in it. Number 6, who's getting
nice as Pie.
Nice as Pie. All right, getting the blinkers on with Luis Saez, and they love this horse. They told me before the race that they thought this horse was going to win. Puts the blinkers on, takes the stretch, and blows the turn. Gives up all chance here, and fights back on, but at this point it's too late. Give all the props to number 10 and Sophie Doyle and Justin Wojcicki. they kick on and win this race here. But I think number 6 is the horse that is the one to look for.
Nice return to form for Bling as well. She had been really out of actually this both the exacta was a return to form. Both of them were not doing well at all in the afternoon. But yeah, big exacta. Was it like a $300, $400 exacta pairing?
I'll say it might be more than that.
Maybe more than that. 30 to 1 shots. Go 1-2. Yeah, nice as pie runs on for third there. All right. Prairie Bayou Stakes, of course, named after the winner. I think it was the 1993 Preakness, and Prairie Bayou raced at Turfway Park several years ago. Let's take a look at this, and the winner is Paros, number 9.
Paros had a great trip. I want to look at number 6, Dresden's Row. Martin Garcia rode this horse. Gets checked hard coming into that first turn, and loses a bunch of ground, and then sits off of it. Let's see, try to pick it up here. The eventual winner is going to be just behind there for Luis Saez in the turquoise silk or turquoise saddlecloth.
Black silks,
And,
gold cap.
Yes. And like I said, number 6 is still coming. And actually, number 1, Hush of a Storm, is another one that I was really interested in. He's in dead last right now.
Yep.
And if you just watch this race unfold, they all come charging. The 6 horse gets stuck on the rail. The 1 horse is just too far back, but they both make huge runs. And the 6, if it's a little bit longer of a race, catches Paros and wins. But we'll watch it here coming down the stretch.
Yeah, let's first of all, we want to give props to Tony Kalo with some fantastic calls, and let's enjoy Tony's call here of the stretch run of the Prairie Bayou Stakes.
Paros, who's never been better tackling Wadsworth, and noises off, has an opening along the inside, and here's one trying to fire through Dresden Row, and Hush of a Storm to the far outside. It's Paros with the lead. Dresden Row up the inside. Paros and Dresden Row. I think it's Paros, but he got tight on the line. Paros or Dresden Row.
Paros is a colt that's really gotten good for Maker in Paradise Farm. I was a non-believer, especially at Keeneland. He knocked me out of something at Keeneland, so I was not happy with him. I did happen to pick him up here in a horizontal. This horse, he showed some heart down the lane, and to pick up one of these $250,000 races from Mike Maker. And then we've got one more stakes race we want to get to, the Holiday Cheer Stakes, which was a fantastic race. A lot of class in here, and we want to talk about the winner, Howard Wolowitz. I don't know which one of you is a Big Bang Theory fan, but either one of you, take it away.
Well, I feel sorry for you because I know you were alive to a big one here with the 3 horse, and breaks very sharp, and they end up going just about the track record. I think it was 7/10 off, and the 3 runs a great race, and the 1 just happens to catch him at the wire. But I would say the 3 and the 1 would be the ones to watch out of this race. Luis guns him, and Run Carson Run. Thought was, like we said, we were praying that it did get there for you.
Yeah, he just he's going too fast here, right? I mean, the horse really doesn't settle, which is not necessarily what you want in a race like this. You want him to go guns a-blazing. Let's talk about the trip of number 8, One-Timer, who tips out here to the 6th path, goes really wide for the jock, and as you see him on the far outside there, and he continues to run. He runs well to finish 3rd despite that wide trip. But Howard Wolowitz runs down Run Carson late here, and this is a really nice performance from him.
Wolowitz unleashing a furious run to the outside, and he's right alongside and puts his nose in front. Howard Wolowitz is up to the front. Run Carson's back to 2nd. Howard Wolowitz in the Holiday Chair.
Yeah, 108 change. So that's pretty cool. Howard Wolowitz. I hated that.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Didn't you post something on Twitter before the race about how nobody who ran in the Breeders' Cup had come back to win until Howard Wolowitz?
that was the first winner from the entire Breeders' Cup card. That's unbelievable that nobody has won since. But there's probably been very few starters since then,
including the Europeans.
I think it was worldwide. Yeah,
I'm sure the Europeans have shut down for the year anyway. So, yeah, hat tip to Howard Wallowitz. That was a really nice effort, and especially for breaking from the rail. Thought that was very impressive. So, all right, one more race to show here, and this is the race right after that, the race 8, and this horse, Safe Trip Home, he breaks from the rail again. And I had a note on this horse last year at Keeneland. I thought he had a rough trip, and he raced one more time. Then he's been off all the way until now, and he's kind of hustled out of the gate here to get to the lead. He's in a nice spot. They may be going a little too fast, and I think the jock senses it, and he's just going to ease up a little bit here and try to ease back. And I don't know if this is the right idea or not, but he gets kind of shuffled back. And this is the kind of horse he doesn't appear to be very nimble. So maybe being on the inside is not his game. And as you can see, as they go down the backstretch, he's going to actually get shuffled back even more. And he'll wind up 5th or 6th halfway down the backstretch. Here you go. Now the jock puts on the brakes just a little bit, and he's going to get shuffled back. Now we're in a bad spot because there's horses to the outside of him. He's got 2 options. He can stay where he's at, or he can pull back even more, lose more lengths, and then try to go to the outside. So the rider elects to stay on the inside, and it's not going to work for him. And I think A, this horse needs to be on the outside. B, he probably needs more ground. And as you can see with the white blaze there, the green silks, Machado looks to the outside. He looks to the inside. Then he looks back to the outside. He finally gets some room. Here he comes. He's on the wrong lead now. And once the horse switches leads past the 16th pole, he's going to level out and almost get to 3rd. So watch him here. He's really running now. Just needs more ground. Safe Trip Home is a horse I'm interested in next time he runs. Now, the bad thing is I think there was a lot expected of him in this start. He was bet down from a 10-1 morning line down to 5-2. So you might have to swallow a short price on him. But maybe the dirty trip helps out, and he can get part of it or all of it next time around. All right. That's all I got. Guys, anything else you want to add? But you, Moon.
I mean, I just wanted I'm glad you talked about post for the last one for Safe Trip Home. I was talking to Tony Kalo at Churchill one day, and we were just talking about kind of the intricacies of Turfway and how we think that post position means even more there than it does other places, just with the big fields, how the track plays. You know, if you're buried on the inside, you can totally get knocked out of the race. If you're marooned on the outside, totally knocked out too. So that's just a little note to think about when you're handicapping Turfway. Look at where they broke from last time and see if it's an improvement or if it's a worse post than they ran last time.
Yeah. I prefer inside post going a mile, though. You know, generally at Turfway, I really don't want to be hung out there in the 10, 11, 12 path. But, you know, if you've got the horse, it really doesn't matter. Now, going 6 furlongs, 6.5 furlongs at Turfway, I'd rather not be on the inside. And I don't know why. I think it's magically deeper down along the inside for some reason. But, of course, it wasn't for Howard Wallowitz. That's the whole reason I faded him, because he was on the rail. And boy, that was a bright idea. But I've had many of them over the years. But
You did all right on Saturday.
Saturday was all right. Yeah, we won't get into that. But that's, yeah, like I said, that's old news now. But now, Geoff, I know you're looking forward to Saturday at Fairgrounds, and a big card down there. It's some of the fields came up a little light, but you get down to the last 2 or 3 races, I think it's going to be a really nice sequence of events there, right?
Yeah, I haven't dug into the card at all yet, but I mean, it's going to be a huge day. Gun Runner Stakes. You know, it's really getting into Derby prep season for sure, and really the road to the Kentucky Derby goes through New Orleans at this point. We've had some serious horses the past 3-4 years who are at least Derby favorites or top 3 Derby finishers who come through, and of course, Horse of the Year, Sierra Leone, had the just really tough beat in the Derby last year, but went through New Orleans. So I'm excited for the whole card. I think we're going to see some serious runners for sure.
What about Torpedo Anna? McPeak revealed today she had surgery to remove a piece of broken jaw. How crazy is that? And then she's had it in her last 2 races, which is just insane. How good is she? You know, could you
She's
run a mile
a
and a quarter?
warrior.
Could you run a mile and an eighth with a broken jaw?
I don't think I could run a mile and an eighth with not a broken jaw.
That's true. What about with somebody on your back?
Yeah, that's 100% no.
All right. Going forward, I was just glancing here at Saturday's card. No stakes races at Turfway on Saturday, but gosh, that was just a crazy fields. I mean, most of the races have 12 horses. I see the 6th race, the Lounge race, has 8. And I see Bow Street in there for Palo Lobo. That horse is just wicked fast. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. But and then, of course, that maiden special weight right there in the 5th race is the very important what I call the pivot race in both pick 5s. You got to get that one right if you're going to hit the pick 5. So another challenging card. So we'll be analyzing all these races, trying to figure out who we like in all those spots, and maybe come up with some bad trips to report next week at this time. All right, that's all I've got. So on behalf of Geoff Riggs and Trey Server, I'm CC Broaddus reminding you that gambling money ain't got no home.